Once the golden boy of the soccer world, a protagonist straight out of an uplifting story, he was a rare gem, chased by the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea at just 17. By 19, he was commanding a transfer fee in the hundreds of millions, landing at Atletico Madrid, the golden boy with a killer instinct, the envy of his peers. But now, this former hero has willingly given up an €8 million salary, braving the jeers and mockery of countless fans. He's taken a mere €400,000, a pittance, really, to become the loneliest Avenger in the soccer world. Meet Joao Felix, a kid who's been running from his problems since childhood, only daring to face them head-on at the age of 24. Signed by Porto at just 8 and hailed as a prodigious talent, Felix was the talk of the town. But the reality? He was just a kid, buckling under the weight of expectation. To his parents, he was a miracle child, born with a ball at his feet. To his coaches, he was the genius who spent 18 hours a day juggling school, training, and games. Everyone's eyes were on Felix, waiting for him to crack, and at 12, when he went pro and had to live alone at the club, the pressure was more than he could bear. The coaches were harsher, the passes came less often, and the bench became his second home. So, he called his dad, tears streaming down his face, "Dad, can I leave this place? I want to come home." His father's voice was as stern as ever, "I'll come to see you. But understand this, if you leave, you can never come back." Despite his father's tough love, a child can't weigh pros and cons like an adult, can't face setbacks head-on. In Felix's mind, the loneliness and isolation of the last 4 years played on repeat. In the end, he chose to run, leaving Porto's full-time contract behind for the comfort of home. Luckily, Porto's rivals, Benfica, stepped in at just the right moment, offering him not only a better life but also the chance to shine on the pitch. In just 2 years, the skinny kid transformed into Benfica's brightest star. From the coaching staff to the 40,000 fans at Estadio da Luz, everyone adored the Portuguese prodigy, the next Cristiano Ronaldo, the jewel of Portuguese football. As the praise grew louder, Felix finally spread his wings. In July 2019, Atletico Madrid signed him in a record-breaking deal. Initially, everything seemed perfect. But the pitch is a cruel place, and without performance, Felix's career at Atletico turned to confusion. Injuries, tactical disagreements, and a lack of form plagued his time there. Over 3.5 years, he barely managed double-digit goals in a season, with a mere 5 assists as his best. Memories of his time at Porto haunted him, and in a haze of confusion, he decided to move to Chelsea. But half a year later, nothing had changed. He thought Chelsea would be his new Benfica, but the turbulent Stamford Bridge offered no shelter. By 2023, Felix was back at Atletico, with no club showing interest despite his agent's efforts. In desperation, he took a 97% pay cut to join Barcelona on loan. He knew this was his last shot, success would bring glory, failure would mean oblivion. Everyone thought that was the end of the story. But come early December, controversy struck again. With a match against Atletico looming, the Spanish media bombarded Atletico's president with questions about Felix. When the noise became too much, the once shy Portuguese boy faced the cameras and said, "My struggle at Atletico wasn't just my fault, it was several people's fault." The debate was reignited. On December 4, 2023, during the match against his former club, Felix scored the only goal. As he approached the advertising boards, he deliberately faced the Atletico fans, arms outstretched, defiance in his eyes, a moment fans would jest about. But for Felix, it was a sign of growth. For years, he'd used escape as a solution, but running away never solved everything, as he himself explained when talking about his celebration. Felix was like a modern-day Thor, a symbol for his generation, shielded from real hardship. His greatest challenges were the loneliness of his youth and the long commutes to school. Compared to the likes of Modric, born amidst war, or Messi, who fell and rose again and again, Felix's trials seemed trivial. But everyone has their own mountains to climb, their own storms to weather. All we can do is face our problems with a smile and walk out of the storm. There's no end we can't reach, no confusion we can't navigate, no problem we can't face, only dreams we're afraid to chase.